The Lord be with you.
Thy grace into our hearts, that we, to whom the incarnation of
Look, I know relations between you and Bożena the herb woman aren't good, but it's time to put an end to the animosity.
Where are you going with this? That witch deserves no pity.
I understand your bitterness, and I'm sorry about your son. Bożena would certainly have saved him if she could, but whatever happened between you, it has to end now. Bożena came very close to losing her daughter on account of your feud. Your farmhands abducted her, and they killed her sweetheart.
But I had nothing to do with that. They did it of their own free will, not on my orders.
That means nothing. They did it because of you. They wanted you to be indebted to them.
But that's not my fault, and I don't see why I should have to make up with Bożena on account of it.
Listen, I know a thing or two about revenge. And believe me, sometimes you just have to say enough and turn the other cheek. Because otherwise, it will never end.
You know nothing. I can't simply forgive her.
Well, then do it on account of Pavlena. After all, she's not to blame for anything. But she's the one who's suffering most from your feud.
Christ almighty. You're talking like the parish priest. I'll send Bożena. Compensation. I never wanted anything to happen to her daughter, and she's the one who suffered most from that banishment. She can't have been more than 10 years old. I give my word that I won't do anything bad to them. And those two fools of Hans, they won't show up here again. And if they do, I'll haul them off to the bailiff myself.
I've already dealt with your Hans.
Oh. Good. Good. But my offer still stands. Bożena and Pavlena could return to the village.
Very well. It's about time this chain of vengeance was broken for good. Give me the money, and I'll take it to Bożena. But God alone knows whether she'll forgive you.
Thank you. It's time for us all to get on with our lives. I hope Bożena will understand that.
I need something to eat. Mutt! Come here! quick! Whoa!
Jesus Christ be praised.
I talked to Yakesh and explained everything to him. He agreed to make amends. His hands acted on their own accord, and he's sorry about it, mostly because of Roman and Pavlena.
What does that mean? That Pavlena can go to Troskovitz and no one will trouble us anymore?
Yes, but that's not all. He gave me some coin for Pavlena, too, as compensation for Roman. Even though he wasn't Pavlena's relative, Yakesh wants to show his sympathy for her loss. Here it is.
Thank you, Henry. In the end, you were right. If only we'd made peace with Yakesh before it all went so far.
Well, at least Pavlena is safe.
I don't know what I'd do without her. We'll always be obliged to you, Henry. If you ever need anything, you know where to come. And you should at least keep half of Yakesh's coin.
Thanks, good wife.
We thank you, Henry. It was good to see you, my friend.
Go! Oh!
God bless.
Greetings to you two. Oh, you hungry beast.
God bless.
I heard at the Troskowitz Tavern that you might have a job offer.
Well, you don't look lame. I reckon I could find some work for you.
I also heard you're invited to that big wedding coming up.
That's no business of yours at the moment.
You see, I'd really like to get into that wedding.
It's only natural to have dreams and desires at your age, lad. But don't get ahead of yourself. You wanted work. I'll give you work. You'll be carrying sacks of flour.
You don't have anything better? I can do other, more useful things.
Well, that's nice and all, but there's only one thing I need from you right now. And that's hauling sacks of flour.
Maybe you could use an armed escort. Maybe I could sit around here somewhere looking tough.
You think you'd be good at that? You don't seem very tough to me. Why not try something a bit simpler, such as hauling sacks of flour?
Do you really have nothing better I could do?
I do, but only for people I know already. And you're not one of them.
All right. It's not like I have much of a choice, do I?
The sacks are in the barn, and the wagon is in front of it. I'll give you a groschen for every half dozen you carry. You won't have to buy food. We'll take care of that. And you can sleep here, in the barn. But not on the sacks of flour, you understand? Or I'll tan your hide. Climb up to the loft with the others.
Ah, fuck me.
Careful what you wish for. Go on, get to work.
God be with us. This is who we get instead of sinning. My God, these furry mutts! Look at this fella. I wonder. Mind where you're going.
I can barely lift it. Oh, I'm sweating like a pig. Maybe this one will be lighter.
Who did Krezel drag in here now?
I wonder if Krezel gives him a groschen for every half dozen too.
This is no joke. Bit heavy for flour.
Hey!
This is no joke. I could barely lift it. What the hell is in this thing? Bit heavy for flour. I'm sweating like a pig. Kurwa. What the?
Have you got it done? I said, are you done?
You're milling some pretty peculiar grain here, Miller. It's got a bit of a metallic flavour to it.
Kurwa. Can't you be more careful?
Tell me the truth. What are you really doing here?
Seems I'll have to lift the lid off the cauldron of knowledge sooner than I expected. You think you're ready?
Don't change the subject.
I'm not. I'm attempting to convert matter into a truly miraculous energy.
What?
I understand. It seems impossible. I'm sure you're asking yourself what that has to do with the metal in the sacks. But we're only just scratching the surface. You see, for my experiment, I'll need something sinfully earthy. Something we'll have to appropriate. And that's something you can help me with, my curious apprentice.
I'll help you.
That's the right attitude. Now listen up. In Troskowitz, next to the tavern, there's a rat house. And in that rat house, there's a chest. And in that chest is a document I need. One that used to be mine, but due to an unfortunate twist of fate, ended up there. It's called The Offer of Hermes Trismegistos. It's written right on it. You said you could do all sorts of things, so I assume reading is one of them. Am I right?
Aye. I can read. But I reckon that's the catch, isn't it?
The catch is, the chest is under lock and key, and most likely well guarded.
Of course it is. And then you'll get me into Semin's wedding?
Aye. If you help me, I'll find a way to get you there. Miller's honor.
No, I doubt the bailiff will let me roam around the rat house and go peeking through his chests. Any advice on getting in there without being spotted?
Oh, come on. Do I really have to spell it out for you? Black clothes, a play of light and dark. A quiet night, and those who live in the shadows, concealed beneath its veil.
Is that supposed to be advice?
Just get some inconspicuous clothing and head over there after midnight.
And where can I get some clothes like that?
I had my outfit washed in the Gilioff bathhouse, but after a bit of disagreement, they refused to give it back. It's my gift to you. All you have to do is pick it up.
Pick them up? You want me to steal them, don't you?
Doesn't it sound like a suitable appetizer before the main course? There's no sense in trying to deal with the owner, Dorothy, anyway. She's a contrary woman who's impossible to talk to.
I'm not even surprised your paths crossed. I'd like to learn more about the art of thievery.
Thievery? Humph. Why call it the art of thievery? It's simply an art. But all right, enough wordplay. If you want to learn something, go and see Hensel. He'll tell you how to relieve people of the things in their purses, or how to quickly and painlessly send them to the land of dreams. And if you'd like to try opening locks without a key, there's a chest in the barn that you carried the sacks to. You can practice on that.
Where exactly should I look for this document? I doubt they've only got one chest in the Troskowitz rat house.
I can't help you there, but my hand Zinnik might know more. He had the document on him, but then the bloody fool got caught because of something else, and they took it from him. I'm pretty sure he's still on display in the stocks on the square. Just remember, lad, if you get caught like he did, the guards will turn out your pockets. And it would be pretty hard to explain what a tramp like you is doing with a document he can't even read.
All right. I reckon I know everything I need. Thanks.
Praise the Lord.
Good day to you.
Stop that whistling. What are you whistling for?
God be with you.
You silly doggy.
What are you here for today?
I heard you have some clothes here that belong to Miller Crazel.
You're damn right I do. They're here waiting for him. Only I had to put them away in a chest in the loft. So I don't have to be constantly reminded of the debt Crazel racked up here. Taking his bloody time he is, the bastard. Those rags have been here for so long, the rats have got into them. Why do you care about them so much anyway?
The miller mentioned them. Said I could take them.
Are you his new lackey or what? Did Zinnek start to get on his nerves?
Well,
Look, I don't really care who takes them. They're a bunch of boring rags. But if you only knew how much work it was to wash out them particular black stains and sew up the burn holes, and most of all, to wash out that awful stench of rotten eggs. Blah. Along with Crazel's debt, it'll cost you this much, including the price of soap.
for that price, I'm not interested. And I'm not sure how else to convince you.
Oh, you pooch.
Are you Zinnek?
Yeah, look, mate, I really need to piss. Can you let me out of here?
Crazel sent me. He's looking for some document the bailiff took from you.
And what's the password?
Hermes Trismegistos?
I'm just yanking your pizzle. You should have seen your face. They caught me at night when I was robbing a merchant, and then they make any distinction between what I stole and what I already had on me. They took everything, including that document, and locked it all away in the chest of stolen things in the Rat House jail. You could get into the jail from the courtyard behind the Rat House. It's right under the guardhouse. Or you could get there from behind the tavern, alongside the fence. As soon as you find the stairs leading down, you'll know you're in the right place.
Well, who's got the key to it?
Well, actually, I had it, but when the guards shook me down, I must have dropped it. It was in the chamber, next to the one with the chest. They've got a pretty soft bed in there, I tell you. The key probably fell under it.
Is that the only key?
No, of course not. Every guard in Troskowitz has one. Best to rob one of them who's slacking off or having a nap. Look, mate, do you actually know how to pickpocket?
Well, I'm still learning, so I could use some advice.
You're in luck. You're speaking to a master. Of course, I am in the stocks just now, but that was just rotten luck. There ain't much I can teach you like this, is there? Better go and see Crazel. Take care.
you get married off into a noble family.
I am going to be faithful.
That wasn't so hard.
Do I want to send Mutt home?
Here it comes.
Do I want to send Mutt home?
Damn it.
Do I want to send Mutt home? Mutt, Tizhelyov. I feel quite hungry.
No need to sharpen this. You shouldn't be bothering us with it.
You don't have anything better to do than... Why are you showing that off?
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends. Heard something. What are you doing, lurking around without a light? Get a torch, or I'll put you in the stocks. And lo, there was light. And he saw that it was good. Now move along.
Well done. Well, by tomorrow, there's something else up here. You can go now.
Stop fooling around. God bless. Princess, greetings to you.
Kurwa. Rain again. How?
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker! I'll whip your ass so much you'll be looking forward to the cane! Christ! I'm hit! You're done here, you crook! Useless! You don't fight with guards, you fool! You surrender to them! Wanker! I'll whip your ass so much you'll be looking forward to the cane!
I hope Bonnie doesn't see me like this.
Do I want to send Mutt home?
Mutt! Tizhelyov!
My neck is bloody itchy.
Hey, what do you think? I'll give it to you, you pickpocket! Give up!
I really am gonna piss myself.
Do I want to send Mutt home? Mutt! Tizheliov!
Bonnie doesn't see me like this.
Not this again.
The offer of Hermes Trismegistos. That's Krazel's document.
can't be here. Clear off! You can't just stroll in here. Come on now, you've no business here. Out! Next time, don't come in here without permission.
A bit longer without food, and I'll really start to be grumpy.
He must have gone somewhere this way. Is there anyone there?
need something to eat.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Greetings, my friend.
How about some more advice on sneaking around in Troskowitz?
You've come to the right man. You're as clumsy as a blind dog and about as inconspicuous as a cow at a banquet table. You've got a lot to learn.
Well, I was focused mainly on my fighting skills.
I don't blame you. Me, I'm no good with a sword. Might be more useful to you in your vocation anyway. But still, ask away. What do you want to know? I'll try to explain it as simply as I can.
What should I wear to be inconspicuous?
Something dark and drab would be best. It won't exactly command respect, but at least people won't pay you much attention. Who'd notice someone so shoddily dressed? Just don't go wearing fancy clothes around tramps, or shoddy rags around nobles. You have to be like a ghost that nobody knows about. And a ghost shouldn't get their hands dirty, or bloody for that matter.
Well, a weapon in hand won't do me much good, but I feel more confident with it.
Seems like everyone does nowadays. But if you're not looking to draw attention, a dagger in your belt will do just fine. All you need in your hand is a lockpick and a bag for valuables. Well, it's best to keep your hands free. If you get caught where you're not supposed to, neither a dagger nor a lockpick in hand will look too good.
How should I plan a robbery?
Most people have the same routine every day. Pay attention to people's behavior. Who goes where and which way, when they rest and when they go to bed. When are they usually drunk? When you get to know your victim, you'll know when they'll be home and when they won't, and where you're sneaking into someone's house. Try a back window. Don't go for the front door.
I've been known to be a bit noisy. How do I stay quiet?
Only a fool goes robbing in full armor. Better to take off your chainmail before you go climbing through someone else's window. And tread lightly. Not only will you not make a racket, but you just might hear the fellow in the other room get up to take a piss.
How should I handle light properly?
Most guards and people you meet at night are either blind or drunk. The night is your friend. Stick to where the light doesn't shine. Dark clothing help out as well. And only a complete idiot doesn't put away their torch while robbing. And if you know how, brew yourself a Nighthawk. It tastes like piss, but it'll help you see better and keep you from being seen.
That's all. Thanks for the advice. I have that document from the rat house for you.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
I took a look at the document. I couldn't really make much of it. Who's this Hermes Trismegistos?
My fifth cousin. We write to each other sometimes.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
Did you find my family tree at the rat house, too? Now show it to me, so I can finally get the knowledge. Good. Good. This will come in handy. Ah, yes. Of course.
What now?
That much? Gonna need more. A lot more.
Did you hear me? What now?
Sorry. I got lost in thought. I owe you my thanks as well as reward for getting me the document. And maybe another little job? What do you say?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. I need to get to that wedding in Semine.
Don't worry. Your path is leading that way. Only it'll be a little longer than expected.
You promised you'd get me into that wedding.
I did, but I didn't say when. Besides, things are about to get really interesting. Step by step, we're moving closer to the great revelation.
Enough. I'm sick of listening to your cryptic blabbering. Supposing you first initiate me into the mysteries of your enchanting mill. This isn't any run-of-the-mill business, so to speak. I smell something devilish here.
Devilish? Not at all. It's high learning. Alchemy! And when I say alchemy, I mean real alchemy. Not some hocus-pocus brewing of potions for creaky joints and bellyache.
Tell me more about it, then. Maybe I'll learn something useful.
I wouldn't be so sure. But I've taken you on as an apprentice, so I might as well tell you something. Now, pay close attention. I want to make a golem out of dough. Then, using secret alchemical practices and theurgy, bring him to life.
A golem? What's that?
A golem is a helper brought to life using divine words. A living statue endowed with massive strength. Can be made of clay, wood, stone, basically anything. I'll make one out of flour. Studying the Jewish cabals taught me a practice known as Maseh Bereshit. A mystic can use it to imitate the work of God. Just imagine. You know how helpful a golem would be at the mill? Carrying sacks, pulling wagons, standing guard. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinnik, but he'd have the strength of 10 men.
You're trying to play God? You know they could burn you at the stake for something like that. It's witchcraft.
Ah, horseshit. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great Holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same as the Pharisees. And all the apostles would have been burned at the stake.
So a golem, you say, made of flour? For the good of mankind?
Exactly!
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application of certain useful skills from me. But for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say, theoretical level.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing you the document, and then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now, I completely forgot. Here you go. So you don't go around saying that Miller Crazel is a pinch purse. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more work, there's plenty.
I don't know, Crazel. Alchemy, golems, documents in locked chests. I reckon I've had enough. I'll have to think about whether I want to continue with this art of yours.
I get it. Greater good of mankind isn't everyone's goal. But don't forget, I can get you to that wedding. Miller's honor.
I'm as hungry as a wolf. What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
This has something to do with that alchemy of yours, eh? I don't know much about that stuff.
Nitra is saltpeter. White crystals similar to salt.
And what needs salting here in the mill? Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for a young semi?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
All right, then. I'll look around for that saltpeter pit of yours. I just hope you know where to look, that you can point me in the right direction, and also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpeter if you prefer.
So Bonnie is most likely a thief, am I right?
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. And you don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily-liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpeter, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
You have a secret storage space? You're full of surprises, Crazel.
What's so surprising about that?
Well, actually, it makes sense. I reckon you can't just make a golem in the mill. So how do I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget. You could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth Zinnik. On the other hand, Zinnik might be holding his tongue for a while after his encounter with the Troskowitz stocks.
If Bonnie spends time with Zinnik, she may want some spirits rather than herbs.
Bonnie? Never. Being a decent Christian, she avoids alcohol like the plague. Right along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair.
Take care, friend.
What a nag!
What was that noise? Woodcutters?
Good morning.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
The Wolf of Skalitz.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I've got something here.
My word, that's exactly what I need. The ingredients for the magic ritual.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Crazel tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
I think it's all a load of shit. Just some hocus-pocus to cover up shameless robbery.
Well now, so you're a bailiff's man and you're on our trail?
No. It's just I'm not as naive as you seem to think.
Look out! Behind you!
What?
Just testing how alert you are. You know, if a golem punches you, you won't get up again. Whether you're naive or not. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Crazel's saltpeter, I won't keep you.
I need to know how it is with that saltpeter. Nothing else.
Whatever you say. Before you came, and before Zenek fucked up with the manuscript, we collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls, horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the styes in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
Barrel is quite a lot.
For the whole Trosky region, aye. Unfortunately, Krazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Krazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. And Krazel, of course, didn't tell me shit.
Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave, the best natural saltpeter maker.
Krazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a a saltpeter mine.
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the knacker.
Well, I haven't met him yet. Where can I find him?
The cemetery is beyond Troskowitz, towards the Apollonia rocks.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun, and pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskowitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, the Wolf of Skalitz.
I'd like you to teach me something.
It can be done, but it doesn't come for free. What are you interested in? God be with you. What are you doing here?